Hello, hello, guys. Welcome back to the HCR2 Community podcast. As always, it's Juanito from Team Reddit, and joining me as another host is...
Hulkster from USA.
Welcome back, Hulk. I think it's been quite a few... Is it been more than 2 weeks since we did the last episode, or a week?
The D-Flow episode was probably at least a week or two ago. It feels like it's been too long of a break.
Yeah, it does feel like it was quite a bit ago. I don't know why, but we'll try and pump out more content for you guys. So I promise
we
you
do
that.
we do have some juicy stuff coming up.
Oh yeah, we'll tell them more about that later in the episode. Well, for our next guest is as simple and basic as a white girl. Some call him a one-trick pony, but his trick ain't easy to master. A real craftsman of a vehicle many considered useless. He has changed the perspective around it, and today, many compete to prove who is the best at it. With us, the mono and only Daspo.
No, that's quite the intro. Thanks for having me, guys.
You messed up his name.
That was good.
It's Daspo. Daspo.
Daspo.
Daspo.
You said Daspo. It's Daspo.
Oh God, here we go again with names.
Here I am correcting you on how to pronounce a name.
Oh, we remember we were talking about a future guest that's coming on and the way you pronounced it.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Daspo.
I can't say it right now, though, right?
No, you can't say it right now, but I mean, it's bad. It is really bad. But anyways, I'm just gonna say it my way because at this point, I don't know. Daspo, welcome to the podcast. Very excited to have you. I think you were actually one of the first few guys we contacted for the podcast, but you've been waiting for a bit, so we thank you for waiting all this time.
Not a problem. Yeah.
Welcome. And so, please.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about you.
All right. Well, I started off playing Hill Climb Racing 1. Kind of like everyone else that's been on the podcast. But I got really bored with it really fast. I think I played the moon map. Wasn't it the moon map you could just go forever?
On HCR1?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think I used to only play City, I remember.
Oh, City, okay. So I got bored with that, and I ended up deleting it. And I was sitting in the airport one day, and we're getting ready to board a plane. And I was looking for a game to play. And I came across Hill Climb Racing again, and then I noticed there was a Hill Climb Racing 2. And I was like, oh, that could be interesting. So I downloaded it and started playing cups, trying to get my GP up, and noticed that the mono wheel was in range. So I just played cups over and over just to get that vehicle, even just by seeing it. I don't know what had drawn it to me. I knew it was going to be a challenge. So, yeah. And then once I finally got it, I just was determined to just figure out how to ride it. And that's how everything kind of started.
So, quick question. You mentioned you did a lot of cups. But as we talked the other day with Hayes Nation, we have different definitions of what a lot of cups means.
I don't play much cups anymore. Yes, your version of cups is crazy compared to what I do.
Well, what's your best season at the moment?
Oh, Jesus. I'll have to pull it up 1 second. Hopefully we don't lose you.
No, it's okay. Take your time.
I know my best is 374K in a month.
374K. Okay, it's almost as good as my alt account.
Oh. The game is loading. Yeah, I'm not even sure my best season is. Oh, look. It's not impressive, I can tell you that.
374K is like legend 40-ish.
Actually, it's pretty good. That's more than one legend a day.
Yeah, and I felt like I played the game a lot that month, and I never really came close to it since. My alt account, the best season is 150 to 155K. Probably in the first month I had it.
Best season 1900.
19.
Or
No way.
19,000.
19,000. Okay,
19,000.
19,000.
19,000? Wait,
1900s, like,
so you haven't even finished the trophy road ever?
Never. I've never finished the trophy road.
wow.
Sorry, everyone out there. I have not.
Oh,
I
what's your
spend all my
GP?
time in the daily race. It's ridiculous. And then when I'm not playing the daily race, I do my team events the best I can, and then I'm on Discord. So
And what's your current GP at the moment?
my current GP 6,027.
Oh man,
Wow.
you'd have no idea on how many like legendary parts, gems, coins, parts in general you have missed out the past few
I
months by
know.
not doing the trophy road.
Yeah,
Trust me,
my
I've heard it. I've heard it in the chats of Hill Climb Racing. Everyone gives me shit for it. So, and I know it's just the way I play the game. I play it different than most people play it, I think.
and I think I play the game differently too. I mean, I play the game that is as efficient as I can possibly play. I don't like doing time trials. I don't like doing daily races. I don't like doing weekly races. I like team events, GP increases, public events, anything that I can maximize my GP for the time playing. That's exactly how I play the game.
Agreed. I do exactly the same, Hulk.
Interesting. Yeah, see, when I first started, I didn't have any friends in the game. I wasn't on Discord, and I just spent my time in cups. It might have been even before parts came out. Do you guys remember the date the parts came out?
Like
I don't like the
no,
when GP like the GP update or
no, when
Or where they
parts came
actually
out.
had parts?
no, that was
No,
probably
I
before
don't
I played.
remember. Yeah, same.
Okay, I can't recall if was there before parts, but no, I never played the daily race or the weekly race either because no one was in it. I didn't have any friends, and
You're just
I
racing
played
yourself.
just cups.
I don't know
I
why that
did
seems
a
funny.
few times. Yeah, but it wasn't until I got on Discord when I had my own team. Back then, it was called Flip Kings, and I had like 13 people in my team, and I was trying to grow it. So I was trying to figure out a way to grow, and I looked and I found Discord. So I got on there, and I was looking for people to join my team, like a lot of people are doing right now, and didn't have any luck. No one came to my team, and then about a month later, I got reached out to by someone who saw my post and asked if I want to take my best players over to his team, and um, that's what we did. So I took my top 5 players, and we all moved to Team Hoonigans. And MD over there is the leader, and he's a really good guy. We're all about having fun. We're not too pushy on don't spend your gems or anything like that. It's really laid back, and we just a good group of guys over there.
So your
Once I
first
was in
team, your first team was as a leader?
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
And
quite a responsibility.
right, and then it was just a lot of work to try to grow your own team. Really frustrating actually because you get people in there and it's only like 5 people playing, but you have 13 players and no one's putting up KMs, and I didn't enjoy it. Being a team leader is not my thing. Definitely not.
I
Okay,
agree.
well then, since team event isn't your thing, tell us what you're most known for.
Well, when I first got into Discord, I started getting some friend links, and I didn't know what the friend links were for until I started getting into the daily race, and I noticed that this is what this is for, and I could race against people. So then I started racing against people in my own team, and then I always seemed to be drawn to the mono wheel, even though it wasn't a great one for cups. I played it in cups for probably 3 months straight. Didn't use any other vehicle, and it pretty wrecked my GP pretty hard, or my legendary status at least. And so I started using it in the daily race, and I just trying to beat people that were using regular vehicles, and I became obsessed with it. And that's pretty much when I decided I was gonna be the best mono wheel player that you could be, try to find the best players in the game, and I started reaching out on Discord, trying to find different players that were using the mono wheel.
Crickets.
And the response I got was absolutely nothing. No one was using the mono wheel. I couldn't find it. People said Jebstone, which is SB Jebstone. He's really, really good. I saw some of his videos. He had a lot of the records. And so I tried to reach out to him. Yet to this day, I'm still not talking to Jebstone. So if you're listening, you can hit my DMs. Let's have a chat. But no, I couldn't find anybody who wanted to. I basically asked people if they wanted to give me a challenge on the mono wheel, and I would try to beat it. So I started calling that Mono Wars. And
It's a really cool name to just come up with.
yeah, I'm not sure how I came up with it, but I've always called it the mono, and I was like, let's go to war. So I started asking people for challenges and putting up YouTube videos. And I think I only got like 8 or 9 videos up before I saw the FSGP trailer for the first time. Did you guys ever see that trailer?
Yeah, I saw
That
it.
was cool. Very cool.
Yeah, super cool trailer. And I was like, holy cow, like this is amazing. And that was challenge based. And I wanted to do something different. I didn't like the challenge based theory, but I was spending so many gems doing my challenges that it was killing my wallet. I was spending $20 a week probably for the first 3 weeks, and I was like, nope, I'm not doing that anymore. So I stopped and started asking those guys that I was doing challenges with if they'd want to join me into the daily race. And I think Cody was the first one I actually asked, and he's like, oh, I'll play as long as it's fun, you know. I'll keep playing if it's fun. And I got more people to join, and I got more people to join. And I think I was up to 8 people, and I was just freaking stoked, you know. Like, oh, what an accomplishment. I got 8 people in my daily race. And it kind of just took off. I wanted to get enough people in to get a video out so I could kind of show what Mono Wars was about. And I didn't even know what it was at the time. I knew I wanted to do a competition, and I just didn't know exactly how I was going to do it. So I started talking to my teammates, and I said, I need a place to have people come into the server and talk about Mono Wars, and I want to post my screenshots. And they said, okay, we'll make a channel for you. So we made a channel in my Hoonigans Discord, and I was inviting people in, and we didn't know how to like separate the channels, so like they could see all our team stuff. And not that we had much to hide in there anyway, but we were pretty open about it. And all of a sudden the team dynamic kind of changed after that happened. And I was messaging the leader, and I was like, hey, it's like, it seems like I haven't talked to you guys in a while. It's like, I think I need to make my own server. And he's like, I think that'd be a good idea. And so I knew that was kind of causing some tension, because it literally was just kind of blowing up. People joining the server, not necessarily joining the daily race, but they were joining the Hoonigan server. So I knew I needed to get a server built. I knew nothing about Discord, absolutely nothing. And one of the first guys that I reached out to was Zhob. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Zohib Pro YT. I just call him Z. But he did a challenge for me, and I said, do you know anything about Discord? And he goes, yeah, I'm actually pretty decent. Why? What do you need? And I said, I want to build a server for Mono Wars, and I need some place to do it. I want to have a competition. I know nothing. What could we do? Oh, I'll build one for you. So we spent like a week or so asking me questions, and we're on different time schedules. So
we know all about that. I only got
to talk to him. Yeah, it's really frustrating. And we laugh about it all the time, because every time we're working on something, I either got to go to bed or he's going to bed, and it gets frustrating to do work that way. But we ended up getting the server built. I got out of my team Hoonigans, and I I said, well, now what? And he said, well, let's invite people. Let's get it going. And I said, I don't know if we're ready. And I think it sat for like a week. And finally, I said, let's do it. Invited people. People showed up. We started having the daily race. And then I think it was Z who said, we should keep track of points. And I was like, dude, that's an awesome idea. So we took a spreadsheet. We built one that night. And we started keeping track of Mono War people coming into the daily race and came up with a point system. And that's basically how Mono Wars began.
And so was that the start of season 1? Like, because I know you're also a pit crew. So was it through this type of competition that you were given pit crew?
Oh yeah. So I didn't even know what pit crew was really. When I was doing Mono Wars, I had no idea that doing something like that would even get on the radar of Fingersoft, let alone become pit crew member. So when I was doing season 1, I didn't really know where I was going with it. So each week was its own competition, and then once the week was over, everyone's points went back to 0, and then we started over for the next week. So season 1 was basically just each week was its own new race, and you ran from Tuesday to Sunday. I always did Mondays off, and I'm trying to think here. We ran for 24 straight weeks. Yeah, it's like 6 months, I think.
Yeah.
24 weeks, yeah. And so the only time that I did a week off during that time frame was during the Mono Wars public event. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
I do. I remember Reese was making a post about it, and it said, you know, you've asked for it, here it comes, old mono wheel event coming, and I remember being disgusted when I saw that announcement.
Along with a lot of other people, I'm sure.
It was actually fun. I remember it being way more fun than I thought it would be.
Yeah, so the cool thing about that whole entire event was when so I was posting in the Fingersoft server daily. I don't know if you guys ever saw any of my posts back when I first started. But I'd always post the results, and I'd post a picture or something or a video. And I guess like the devs got a hold of it, and they were looking at it, and Reese said in the general chat, I think we're going to do a Mono Wars public event. And someone screenshotted it and sent it over to me, and I was like, no way. And didn't hear anything about it for a couple weeks after that. And all of a sudden, Reese shows up in the Mono Wars server one day. And I'm getting pings at like 5:30 a.m., 6 a.m. My phone is just buzzing, going off the hook, and I'm just like, what the heck's going on? So I finally got out of my bed and went and took a look at what was going on. And Cody and the guys from DC, they're all in my inbox just, dude, check it out. Reese is in the server. Dude, this is crazy. Wow. You got to get in here. So I got in there and I looked, and he said, the rumors are true. We're going to be doing a Mono Wars event, and I want you guys to help build it. So I need your guys' ideas.
So did you come up with the tracks and everything else?
Yeah, so we picked the tracks. We wanted to pick the easy tracks.
Thank you for that.
The easiest tracks that we could do. And then we wanted to pick parts that were all max. And we all wanted to be able to adjust tuning parts, but I don't think there's no ability to do that.
It's interesting.
When it's a fixed vehicle, at least.
One thing about the event that I noticed is when you're playing an all mono wheel event, the replays, the ghosts it could be a really cool looking video with all of those mono wheels thrusting and hitting fuel boost.
Right.
And it's really cool looking, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's how I run my daily race. If you're my friend during Mono Wars and I delete you, it's no hard feelings. but if you're not using the mono wheel during the season, you're going to get deleted. And I do that because of that reason. When I do my videos, I want every single one to be a mono wheel, and it is. It looks really cool, and I put up a few videos, and I think they turned out okay. And that's it.
Yeah, they were cool. The trailers were awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
And so was Mono Wars the first sort of vehicle-specific competition that there was within the game?
No. We had the guys over at the PR server. They've been doing competitions forever in the daily race.
Yeah, but were you the first one to do it with a specific vehicle?
Well, we had like the sleds too, the sledding and things like that for Christmas time. But
yeah, but that's different because I mean, I know now there's Tractor Wars, there's Jeep Wars, there's everything. So I'm just wondering, like, was Mono Wars the start of all of that, basically?
I think so. I could be wrong, but I think I was the first one. Tractor Wars came shortly after me, when me and Z helped Tractor Wars get going. And after that, it just seemed like more and more servers just started popping up. So I wanted a place to put all these servers so people could have access to them, not just so they could see Mono Wars, but so they could also see Tractor Wars and Snowmobile Wars and all these different servers that people have. Everyone's always asking for the link, so I created an HCR2 Wars Global with Z, and we put everything that we could into that server so that people have a place to go and join the server if they want to join that event.
And now we have Adventure Wars. We have everything.
We have everything Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Like, Verishak has his, yeah, there was a No Part Wars. I talked to the guy who was doing the No Part Wars. I asked how it's going, and he said, "That's really tough." I said, "It is tough to build it up." And I think he said he was working on Moto Wars or something. I can't remember. But yeah, it's just crazy. After that whole thing happened, and then right before the public event happened, I got an inbox request from Reese, and that was mind blowing. And of course, I wake up and it's 8:30 and he's not online anymore. He usually gets off around 8:39 my time.
Stalker.
Yeah, and so I had to wait the whole entire day, wondering why he had. I thought he wanted to talk about the Mono Wars public event. I was so pumped. I was like, yes, he wants my feedback, and now we get to talk one-on-one with it. And it was completely different. I did not expect it at all. Yeah.
So
when I got the friend request,
he said, "Would you like to be
say that again?"
Pit Crew? So when he friend requested you, was it something that he messaged you, or was it just a friend request?
He did a friend request, just a friend request, and so I had accepted the friend request, and then I said, "Hey, what's up?" and had to wait 24 hours for a response. I actually got up at like 4 a.m. that next day, see what he responded to, and he had sent me an application for Pit Crew.
That's super cool.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I was just like, "What?" Like I was like, "What the hell? What is this?" I had no idea that I was going to be getting an opportunity like that. And like I said, I thought he wanted to work on the Mono Wars public event. It must have been getting close. And no, application for Pit Crew, and I wasn't supposed to say anything. And of course, by the time I had checked my messages, he was already offline again. So I had actually, I sent screenshots to 3 different people, and I'm not exactly sure who betrayed me, but I had gotten back to Reese, and he's like, bro, like, this is supposed to be confidential. Like, we could take pit crew away right now. You won't even have it. And I was just like, whoa, like, dude, no, like, I don't want to do that. No.
So you almost got kicked out of pit crew before you were even pit crew.
Yeah, no, I was tight-lipped after that. I almost lost pit crew right at that point. You know, he's like, anything that we talk about is confidential, and I don't want to ever see my DMs screenshotted ever again. I did not know what I was getting myself into. I had the mindset. I had been talking to people, like, I wonder what it means. Like, what does he want? You know. And I had all these conversations with people that were like, oh, let me know what he wants and all this stuff. So it was totally unintentional. My bad, Reese. I did not mean to do that. But no.
So for the people,
I will never do that again. And if anyone ever gets an application for pit crew, you guys just keep your mouth shut and fill it out. That's the best thing you can do.
For anybody that does not know what pit crew is, what is pit crew?
So pit crew is a selected Discord members who have shown they have gone above and beyond for a specific amount of time, a lengthy time, and done something for the community that has impacted it in such a way where they deserve the recognition.
Okay.
And what is the recognition?
That's in my own words. There's an actual definition on Fingersoft server.
Okay. So this is a good question. So when are we getting our pit crew?
I'm joking. It'll probably be coming soon, but if you guys keep it up, you guys, I'm sure that will be coming your way.
Reese did
Reese,
say,
if you're listening, I'm joking. Relax. Don't get mad.
No, but he did say that he listens to our podcast and it is the highlight of his work week. So I love that. That's enough. That's kudos.
That is awesome. Oh, great.
So, I mean, just remember, Reese is going to be listening to this, so be careful. If you keep telling the story, he might go back on that decision.
Yeah, no, I specifically made sure I could talk about the whole pit crew situation, and he laughed about it, and he's like, yeah, no, go for it. So, I got the okay to talk about that.
So what are the rewards that you get for being pit crew? I know that you get all the skins and the early updates. So why NDA, which is non-disclosure agreement, which means that you cannot talk about the things that you are privy to.
Wait, Hulk. Before he answers that, Daspo, are you allowed to answer that? Because I don't want to get him in trouble either.
No, here's the thing. I don't know what I'm allowed to say a lot of the times, so I just don't say anything anymore. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know what's public. I don't know what I can tell and what I can't say, actually.
So you just can't talk about anything that's not publicly already known.
Right. If Reese talks about it in the general chat or in the Hill Climb Racing chat, it's a fair game. But no matter how simple the conversation is, or how big a news we may get or may not get, we're just not supposed to share that information.
All right, then. I mean, just to also protect yourself, we don't want to get you in trouble for saying maybe things you're not supposed to. So, again, we talked about this in the past about what is it, NDA or MDA?
NDA. It's
yeah.
Nancy. David.
November. It's November
yeah.
Delta Alpha. Please.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was horrible.
Yeah. NDA. Non-disclosure agreement.
Okay, all right. But then, okay, if you tell me if you can answer or not. When you sign this NDA, are you told what you can and cannot say, or is it sort of like
it's in the non-disclosure agreement?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's enough about that, because otherwise we're getting into a gray area.
To be honest, I probably need to read it again, because I'd probably be able to give you guys a little bit more of a definitive answer.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a big deal. We know it's an exclusive club with well-known players that are not allowed to share private information about the company, but it gives you access to some information and some rewards.
And very cool
Yeah, we get
perks.
I mean, there's a pit crew channel that we get access to, and we could talk in there, and that's all under NDA as well.
So were you allowed to
So
share that?
yeah, that's a well known. The pit crew channel is known about.
It is
Okay.
known. Okay. I'm just making sure. I'm keeping track of this so that we can edit it out if you really need me to.
Well, maybe we could edit it out. Let me find out if that is. I don't know. I guess I'm assuming it is.
Careful. I'm gonna write that down. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna move
While
forward on
we're
this. Otherwise, yeah.
I do have a
So-
question.
Please go ahead, Hulk.
It's related to conspiracies about mono wars.
Ooh,
We've heard.
Yeah.
Wait. Well, no, before that. I want to get to something before that. So you finished the end of season 1. Who was the champion of season 1?
So that's the thing. So for season 1, I don't have a champion. So I could have went back and looked at all of the results and added them all up. But the thing was, I wasn't doing like the difference between season 1 and season 2 was each week of season 2 added on top of each other for a seasonal points. So people knew when they were in season 2 that I better race every race I can to get as much points as I can for season 2 so I can be at the top of the leaderboard. Whereas in the beginning of season 1, when I wasn't doing seasonal points, I was just doing weekly points.
You can just jump in any new week.
Right. So it gave you the opportunity just to jump in. And I got super burnt out by the end of the 6 months. I was ready to be done. I didn't want to even they came to a point where I was like, I don't even know if I want to do Mono Wars anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, I need a break. So I decided to at week 24 to call it off. I give Numpty over at Tractor Wars a lot of credit. He's been doing it for like 34 weeks or something. He's
wow.
just
34 weeks. Oh, so Numpty runs Tractor Wars.
Numpty does, yeah.
And
So
I think
you're
originally
you're both on the same team, right? Currently.
Yeah. Yep.
And what team is that?
That is USS Nemesis.
Right. In the USA family.
In the USA family, that's right. Represent.
I was waiting for that. But quick question on Despo. Because this is actually a topic that we want to discuss in the future about burnout in whatever may be related to the game. Because I think many people come to this challenge eventually of they might be spending too much time on Discord or on the game, and maybe they start leaving real life priorities aside and start focusing too much on the game. So I just wanted to know, after your 6 long period in which you were doing season 1, what did you do any different into season 2? Like, did you get any help to help you do the boards and stuff?
Yeah, so I do all the scoring and everything myself right now, but it helps a lot right now because Maury, AUS, I forget the team,
Osn-Z. Right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Osn-Z Maury. He created a bot for the daily race, and thanks for bringing that up. It is crazy. So people join the server, they're able to put their team name in the Discord server, and it will actually add them to my spreadsheet. So when then they add me, they add my friend link, and then they show up in the daily race. And then what they're supposed to do, not all of them do it, but what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to go to the team or supposed to go to the time entry channel on my Mono War server, and they're supposed to enter their time for the day. And then when they enter their time, it automatically populates the spreadsheet next to their name. And then to take it another step further, when I post my images in my image channel, the bot reads the entire list, and about 75% completion rate, it inputs all the times of the daily race into the spreadsheet for me.
Okay.
I remember back. It was a while ago now. I joined a daily challenge that Maury ran, and between season 1 and season 2, the registration process was different. We had to go through a bot to register, and it somehow linked our score to our name, and it seemed really complicated at first, but he was awesome about helping to, with the bot registration and tracking your scores, and it seemed like it was super organized. So that's but it became, I mean, there was 75, 80 people even back then doing dailies,
Right.
and it took up so much time. It was hours a day of just running the same track over and over again to shave off 0.3 seconds, and it became too much. I did it one season and called it quits.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's the same exact bot that we're using now, and he's got other servers. The Verishak server uses it. Mono Wars uses it. I know there's a couple other ones. I think the Adventure Wars server that's about to start is going to be using it. So it is. If you guys are doing an event and you guys have more than 15 to 20 people, it is definitely worth it to get the bot. It just makes things so much easier.
Yeah, actually, I ran a sort of Reddit GP a few months ago, and I was only with the Reddit players, but it was 50 players, and it was really, really tiring and time consuming having to put it manual data in. So definitely automation and better organization would make things so much easier.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, you guys did your own kind of like little event.
Yeah, I just like I had a day. I mean, obviously after the second FSGP we had, I just wanted something to sort of bring the spirit up, and I tried my own. I got some inspiration from some videos of Turtle for like ideas of tracks, and then I ran it. And then at the end, I gave the winner 1 month of Nitro for Discord.
Okay, gotcha.
That's cool.
Yeah, I wanted to do it again. So maybe this time you're gonna have to hook me up with a bot.
No, I can definitely see what I can do about that.
So
There is a cost to it. It's like $12, I think. It's not too bad at all.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
So, question: walk us through season 2,
Right.
and Cody.
Okay. Yeah. So season 2, I did things a little bit different, where it actually had the season accumulated on top of each other, and didn't do that for season 1. So the competition was just really, really tight, and the competition is really good. And we have the mono wheel pro guys that came in on season 1, and they taught us. I mean, basically everything about the mono wheel that we didn't know at that point. Being able to have their ghosts.
Who are some of the most well-known mono wheel players right now?
Jebstone, 73, McJack, Dado, Cody, DC Pete is really good. He didn't compete in season 2. I hope he comes back for season 3. DC Jahani, DC Ice Edge.
Couple U.S. guys. Rude Boy, LHT.
Oh yeah, we got
Shout
Rude
out.
Boy. Yeah, Rude Boy. Actuary is a really good mono wheel player. If he actually would spend the time
if he
to
tries,
do it, I think
if he tries,
really good.
He's good at everything if he tries.
Yeah, and then I hope I'm not forgetting some people. I have lots of PR. Vulcan is he got Rookie of the Year this year. Not Rookie of the Year, but most improved player of Mono Wheels of the Mono War Season 2, along with Memphis from Years Gone Wild. I give away a little bit of awards at the end of the season. Just a little extra thing I wanted to do this season. So I gave a Rookie of the Year award to Javok, who he was a rookie this season. And then the Mono God award went to Cody.
But that wasn't without a little bit of scrutiny, right?
Yeah, so the competition, like I said, the competition was so high that there was a group of guys that thought that Cody might actually be a bot. He might be using some kind of software to adjust his runs. And I know there is software out there. I forget what it's called, but
BlueStacks or something like emulators.
yeah, and where you could adjust your run just a little bit just to keep on doing it. And so I got reached out to, and I wanted to make sure that I was being really respectful about everyone's opinions. And I started looking at Cody, and I was like, man, it's like Cody was one of the first guys that I reached out to about Mono Wars. He was stuck with it from the very beginning, and I've seen him improve this whole time. And now these guys are wondering if he's using some kind of a bot. And I'm just like, wow, I couldn't see it. There's just no way. So I started really looking at his runs and watching my videos, and I was like, well, maybe that kind of looks kind of suspicious. But then, so I was looking, I was like, so I started feeding into this whole thing about maybe he's a bot, and
So
I started
he
looking. So I was
you
like,
were thinking like you weren't thinking that the player Cody was a bot. You're thinking that he's using software like auto clickers or something to record his runs and do small tweaks or slow down gameplay or speed up gameplay, things like that.
yes,
I mean,
exactly.
to be fair, I would question it too. Have you seen this guy at team events? It's
He's
ridiculous.
I have
I mean,
not.
Question it
I
too.
heard he's incredible.
I would question it too. No joke.
Yeah. I heard he's one of the best players in the game. And so like that alone was just, when I was listening to those other podcasts, I was just like, man, it's like he's such a good mono wheel player, and he's good at all these other vehicles. It was just the guy's just a beast. But back to the whole story. I woke up to a message. There was like a group of like 13 different guys that are from the Mono Wars crew. I'm not going to say any names, but
but their team name is called Mono Wheel Pro, right?
well, they were part of Mono Wheel Pro, part of them, and they're the ones who basically pioneered the way you guys, how we run our tracks. They came out with the best lines. They came out with the best way to run. I mean, some of these guys have 30 million meters on their mono card.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
And we're gonna post our cards too with the release of this
there we go.
podcast, so you can see
How
how
sad it
noob,
is.
how noob we are with our mono wheel.
Yeah, so some of these guys have been playing for 3 years. They've perfected the mono wheel, and then we have a guy come in like Cody, who comes in and just crushes it. And to go without saying, there was some scrutiny. Yeah, but I was back to me analyzing his runs. I started looking and seeing weird things about his runs, but then I was like, well, I'm just looking for stuff. So why don't I look at other people too? So I started watching other people, and as you watch, it's just the way the game is. I think it just kind of makes it look a little bit on the ghost. I don't know. I think everyone kind of had like a weird look to it. So I threw it out. And I was like, no. I was like, back to my roots. I knew Cody growing into it, and I basically said, I don't see there's any wrongdoing here. I actually brought Cody into the conversation, and he was like, well, if you guys want me to leave, I won't be a part of season 2 anymore. And they're like, no, if you have nothing to hide, stay in it. And he's like, well, I got nothing to hide. So he stayed with it, and he crushed it. He came and he's the Mono King. So,
But he
That
also,
was honestly amazing.
but
man.
he did give his rewards away, didn't he?
he did. He gave all his. He had 3 legendary chests that he gave away, because I said, well, why are you doing that? And he said, well, I already have a high GP. 3 legendary chests ain't gonna do much for me. Someone else can use it more than I can.
Wow, man. You know what? This guy, apart from being a great player, like the other day in the Reddit leaders chat, we were talking about like top players in the game and stuff. and one of the guys that came up was Cody, and something everyone agreed within the team was that not only is he a great player, but he's actually such a nice guy. Like, genuinely as a person, he's an amazing person. He's very quiet and reserved to himself, but he is a gentleman, honestly.
Yes.
I almost look up to the guy.
Yeah. No, I've always liked talking with Cody, and he's very respectful. Yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about him. Lou Bob, I forgot about Lou Bob. He's also an awesome
Yes.
player when it comes to mono wheel.
Yes, he is. I've seen him in the mono wheel before.
So then, Daspo, what are the plans coming for season 3?
So season 2 is 8 weeks long, and that seems short compared to 24, but it was still long. I mean, by the time 8 weeks is up, I was ready for it to be done. I was super excited for season 2 to come in, and that break that I had, that 3-month break prior, was just so much needed. And I thought 8 weeks was going to be a good amount of time, but it was still too long. I was talking, who was it? I think it was Mick Jack. He had said that we were on the last day of season 2, and he said, "That's it for me. I'm all done. I spent 5,000 gems this season."
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And he got second.
Wow.
Yep.
So
yeah,
I know that there's a season 3 coming.
season 3 is coming, and it's going to be 4 weeks long. So that's much shorter, and I'm sure the competition is going to be super high. We have some new people coming in. Pretty much everyone from season 2, at least the last 36. By the end of season 2, I had 36 mono wheel players playing, and that was the lowest it got. And I think all of them are coming back for season 3. And I know there are some new faces coming in. One might even be on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I mean, I'm gonna try and be there. So you'll see me in the first week. I'm gonna be last, and by the second week, I'm gonna be gone.
Well, you might be second to last. I'm gonna try to join as well. But we did have, in the spirit of mono wheel for this podcast, we had Dispo send us 3 challenges. One is a noob challenge, one is a pro challenge, one is an elite challenge. I barely finished the second one, and the third one, I don't even know if I finished the track, but it's going to force us to get a little bit better at mono wheel.
Yeah, and
there you go.
I mean, you guys will be able to see it, but it's going to be for anyone listening to this, or in this case, watching it on YouTube. You're going to be seeing Hulk's and my recordings of trying out each track. So
you won't hear our cursing though, because there's no sound associated with it.
Yeah. And keep in mind, some of those were recorded over multiple days because of just how hard it is and how rage-inducing it is having to like mess up every single track, or not every single, especially the last one. The last one, it's just way too hard, to be honest. I don't even think I've beaten it yet.
And the tuning is so weird with the mono wheel. That there's stability, there's air control, which, I mean, they both kind of seem like the same thing to me. Then there's another extra part called air control, and then there's, I understand the thrusters and wings and tires and fume boost because they're used in climb tracks, and not the thrusters, but turbo. I understand that, but the stability and air control is really hard for a newer player to the mono wheel to understand when you lower stability, why you lower it, and things like that.
Right.
Yeah, actually, Daspa, do you have any tips for any new mono players out there, including us?
Definitely. That's one of my favorite parts about doing Mono Wars is I always get messages, hey, what are your tunes? What parts are you using? Can you send me a video? And then I usually ask them to send me a challenge of what they're using, and then I record the challenge and how I beat it, and then I send it back to them. And so I really work with a lot. If you want help, you just got to reach out to me on Discord and ask me. I'm not gonna tell you no, because I help everyone that asks me. And then But when it comes to this, well, first of all, the part air control is worthless. So
Really?
the air control part, I've never used it ever. Not as far as Mono Wars goes, you'll never use that part. You might use it if you want to do a bunch of flips, but I've never used the air control part itself. Now, the air control tuning and the stability tuning, um, that comes into play different. If you're not using thrusters, your stability is going to be way up. If you're using thrusters, your stability will drop sometimes. It doesn't mean it's always going to drop, but a lot of times your stability will drop. Stability.
Why does it make sense to drop stability? Because you need to, like, you lean. It's almost reverse. Like if you tap the brakes, you kind of lean in the opposite way with the mono wheel.
So if your stability is really high, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were talking. Could you say that again?
Yeah. So if you're thrusting, I know that the stability comes into play because you thrust farther when you lean differently with the mono wheel, and if you hit the brakes, you're actually going backwards. But if you hit brakes in any other vehicle, you lean forward, like your nose dips down. So it's kind of reversed in the mono wheel.
It is. It's completely reversed, and it actually hurts me when I was trying to do the Moonlander the other day, and I could not pitch it forward. I kept on pitching it backwards because I was trying to drive it like a mono wheel. But when you lower the stability, you get better starts usually. And also, when the stability is lowered, you can pitch it forward really fast. So like if you have like a stability of like level 1 or 2, and you go off a jump, you'll just face plant, like you'll go completely perpendicular almost immediately, and then you can thrust like your Superman over to the next spot. So that's like if you don't have that, a lot of times you'll pitch too slow, and then your angle's off, and so basically it's all about angles and where you launch from, and the stability helps you angle forward really fast.
And that would help on things like that would help with long jump too, right?
Oh, sure, yeah. If your stability is too high, you might not get the right angle, or if your stability is too low, you might get the wrong angle as well.
What about, and I've seen this a lot, so tell me if I'm wrong, but sometimes when you are, let's say you're in the middle of a flight and you land in a dip, you're not supposed, or it's better not to accelerate and just land like on the downward side of the slope and let the momentum of the mono wheel just carry you over to the other side, because if you press the accelerator, he's going to lean forward and you're more likely to die.
If you can time it as you land, you might get away with it, yeah. But on the downslope, a lot of times if you get on the gas too soon, it's see you later. You're gonna get a face plant.
That makes sense. I face planted quite a few times in that.
Right.
And even when I've seen some of Cody's mono wheel videos, like some of those challenges where it's like thrusters with fuel boost, he'll accelerate at the start and then fly, and then the rest is just landing properly and not even accelerating when he catches the fuel boost. It's just let it do itself. Just angle it.
Yep, exactly. It's all about your angles. And actually, if you're flying you hit the fuel boost and then you launch off a jump and you engage thrusters, a lot of times you'll fly a lot less if you engage thrusters at that time. So,
and if you have enough speed built up, the thrusters won't even engage at all.
It won't. Nope, it won't.
And I've seen it happen with a lot of vehicles. Like when they gather too much speed horizontally, then
the thrusters don't. You can't get any thruster. Like if you hold in both pedals, you won't see any thrusting. It won't do anything.
Yep. It's like it's out. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know it was like that on other vehicles. That's good to know.
I think the chopper does that, right? The chopper for sure.
For sure, the chopper. Also, I think every vehicle is going to have its own threshold in which it happens, because even the bus does that as well.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Well, so normally at this at this time of the podcast episode, we would get into the hot seat, put you on the spot, and ask you questions questions from the public
Let's do it.
towards you. The only issue this time is that our fellow moderator over at the Fair Play server called AYN was a little cheeky guy today and decided to delete all the questions.
Yes, or as our one of our famous Finnish friends would say, he goes by the name of Yarso. That
No.
it's just another
Yarso.
case of fair play censorship.
You have to work on that name.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yarso.
Yarso.
Yarso, like a pirate.
It's like a pirate, yeah. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to come up with what we believe people would ask you, basically.
Okay, let's do it.
I know that, I mean, a lot of the questions were going to be like, why mono wheel, which you kind of got into. It was just figuring out, like, you know, a vehicle that not everybody used, like D-Flow with the motocross, and, you know, so I guess my question, if I was a member of the community, is why would you go through all of this at the expense of your GP? You know, for the majority of players, the goal is to build GP as fast as possible, but you know that, you know, even my alt is now higher GP than your main account because of that. So why would you willingly sacrifice all of this time and know that your GP is not going anywhere as fast?
That's an easy question. It's just so much fun. I enjoy mono wheel so much in the daily race. I had no regrets. Do I wish I had a higher GP? Yeah, sure. But you know, I remember when we were talking last week, you were saying just do the 12 races a day just to get your GP up. So I've been actually trying that. I haven't done it every day, but trying to run the cup a little bit more than I have been in the past. And I don't know. When you join Mono Wars, I've had so many people say, this has brought the fun back in the game for me again. Thank you so much. And I never used the daily race before. Now that I'm in Mono Wars, I love the daily race. Thank you. Like, and I think a lot of people are surprised that because if you join Mono Wheel, or if you join Mono Wars, make sure you join the invite links channel and click on all those links, because when you have the ghosts of the other Mono Wheel people, those players know what they're doing, and it allows you to become a Mono War legend really quick.
That's a good point.
Yeah. I mean, look at Cody. Cody's a phenomenal player. He learned from the best players, and now he's ranked number 1. So, I mean, season 3 is going to be tough. Everyone's going to be aiming for him. So, it's going to be interesting. And I'm changing up a little bit with the points. I'm making the points a little bit more competitive than they were in the past. So, it's going to be an interesting season for sure.
Now, are Mono Wars, are they noob friendly? Noob as in myself, you know, because I don't want to go into this server and be like, hey, Cody, let me challenge you.
So like, and you can definitely do that. The thing, if you have max parts, you're going to surprise the hell out of yourself. So,
in a good way or in a bad way?
In a good way. In a good way. You'll surprise the hell out of yourself. Look at PR Vulcan. That guy had no thrusters for the first season. I mean, he stuck with it, and I think he finished 3rd or 4th.
Oh, wow.
With no thrusters.
No. In season 2, he finished 3rd or 4th on Down the Tube, I think it was. He had a killer run, and so he finally maxed his thrusters coming into season 2, and he was able to. He's got a higher finish than I do on a Mono Wars event. So,
wow.
Yeah, I think my best finish is 6th, maybe 5th. I don't know, on a just a daily race.
I was going to ask you that.
So
Actually, I was going to ask you two things. Since you're the one that started this, and actually your initial goal was to become the best monowheel player, like where do you stand in that ranking?
I think I got 11th or 10th in Mono War Season 2. I'm probably in like the 10th to 20th place. I think there's a lot of people like LHT and Actuary and DC Pete that could compete in Season 3 and would be able to beat me. I'd love to give them a challenge, though. It's been a year, so let's go, boys. Let's do
Let's
it.
go.
So,
Okay, that's interesting. Another one, and I can't believe I didn't ask you this earlier, but how did you come up with your name?
Oh, yeah, good question. So my nickname in high school was Spo, and by the time I was a senior year, they changed it from Spo to Duspo, which was the Spo, and they just said "duh" just to be funny. It was just an inside joke thing, and it stuck, and people call me Spo still, or call me Spo. So
it's not
that's how I got my
Daspo.
name.
It's Daspo, not Daspo.
Yeah, like the Spo, Duspo. If you want to say it pronounced, it would be DUH, Spo.
Sounds good.
The Spo. Say like a French. Say like Morbox. The Spo.
Duspo.
So I don't know if there's what other. I mean, we usually have questions that are funny, but they were all deleted, sadly. So we have.
Let's see.
We have a
I
hint.
had access to the channel for like a half a day, and then you guys took it away. I think I remember a question that was really good. I'm trying to remember who it was from.
I mean, it's going to be pretty hard without the question itself.
I think it was Avi, PR Evitol.
Oh, Vidahall.
Yeah, he was on the podcast. I think he had a good question. I think he asked how I got Mono Wars to give thrusters for the public event when it wasn't in the Chinese version. And the simple answer was Mono Wars was supposed to be catered to the Mono Wars daily race competition, and it was just a simple mistake. They should have had thrusters on there from the beginning. So that's why they
I remember
added it.
that. Actually, looking back, I remember hearing chatter about when the event first came out. Everyone that was excited said, "Oh, there's no thrusters." It was like, what's the point of Mono War event if there's no thrusters? Thrusters are in every single track, almost.
Exactly. Yeah, it was supposed to show. The point of the Mono Wars event, in my eyes, was for it to showcase what the mono wheel could do at full capacity. And when you didn't have thrusters on there, I mean, everyone was let down. I mean, I messaged IO because I saw he had a video out. I was like, "What'd you think?" And he's like, "Well, you saw my video, right?" And it said, right at the beginning, I rewatched it. It said, "RIP mono, no thrusters." And I was just like, "No."
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And so I watched Verishak's video, and I was bumming super hard, and I was like, I gotta fix this. And people were like, it's too late. It's like Sunday night. It's coming out on Tuesday morning. There's no way it's gonna change. There's no way. And I'm like, I'm gonna try. So I messaged Reese, and I said, this is what I thought we were gonna get. This isn't what we got. And I said, this is how it should be set up. This is how it is set up. I said, if you go through with it, it's going to be a complete disaster of an event. And I was just upset. And he messaged back. He goes, tell me what you want. And I gave it to him, and that's what it was.
Wow. That's
so
awesome.
Super, super pumped about that. Probably one of the best moments looking back now, either when Reese joined the server or when I was able to message or I put an announcement on. I said, "We did it, fam," and I put thrusters, magnet, fuel boost, or something. I can't remember or tires. I can't remember, but I asked for 3 different parts, and they were all added to the event.
Well, now the next step to that, you're gonna have to ask for a mono wheel only team event, and I know a lot of people are gonna hate me after this, but
Oh,
please
no.
do it.
I would love it. I would love it, but they don't even have to do all mono wheel. I think it was Actuary who made a really good point that a lot of us have learned how to use the mono wheel. We would love a time attack option. Just you could use the mono wheel, just throw it in there as a wild card, and if you use it, it could be the fastest vehicle. And then
Well,
those that know how to use it could use it, and those that don't would choose to use the super bike or something.
see, that's the only issue I see with giving an option, and I'm sure Hulk is gonna agree with me because I mean, we are specialized, so to speak, because we probably suck compared to everybody else. But team events is our thing, and I don't think unless you make it a mono wheel only event, that given the option to use the mono wheel or like you said the super bike, that people would go for the mono wheel just because it's easier
Well, how
to
would you guys
use.
feel about a mono wheel event? Let's say that you went up against Discord or something.
Man, honestly, I would love it. Like it would just more than it being because I'm sure like it would get to the point where it would be frustrating. I'm not gonna lie, but it would just change things up. That's how you make the game interesting. Like one of the things somebody posted today in the top 50 channel in the Fair Play server. I think it was Singo from North, and he said like how like we at North we only want tough matches. So like when leagues come out, I hope it's Discord followed by Reddit followed by Greece, like back to back to back to back, because everyone only likes to play competitive games. And I said, well, no, not really. I like sometimes to just relax and stomp over some news. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
at the end of the day, it's a game and it's for fun. So each person finds their own fun. So I would think a mono wheel only event would just throw things out of the window so far that you would probably see teams like even Reddit struggle against a team that was maybe specialized in the mono wheel. You know what I mean?
Knowing how the teams operate, if I could see there being like a drastic change in the lineups or the rosters of teams, like
Yes.
match 1 would be your normal team. You'd be like, oh no, it's all mono wheel. Then you would have all these different mercenaries coming in that are mono wheel pros to your team.
Don't get in my but it would be so
Yeah.
just at the top of my head, you could do like football followed by climbing with the mono wheel. There's some great tracks for climbing with the mono wheel that are actually
Long
really
jump.
fun. The long jump and then throw in a time attack. It would be great. It would actually be so fun.
Yeah. Didn't they have it? I thought they had a team event one time, or was it another public event before Mono Wars?
What, that was only mono wheel?
Yeah, I want to say I think it might have been an all long jump event with mono wheel, maybe.
I'm not sure. I mean, I know the mono wheel has been in team events a few times, but it's not been like
Yeah, it's
anything
used for
special.
like soccer, or it's used
Yeah,
for
it's either-
climbs.
Yeah, it's climbs or
Yeah.
soccer. That's it.
And I love every time the mono wheel is in the event. I'm just super pumped, and it's like one of my favorite events. Doesn't matter. Soccer ball kind of sucks, but it's a challenge, so I like it.
I
but-
saw you a few events back. We had the first track was a long jump with. I mean, everyone was
MK2.
using the MK2,
MK2.
yeah, and you were using the mono wheel.
Yeah. And I think I 10K'd it on that one.
You
Yeah,
did.
that was really impressive.
Yeah, and I think I only did it once too. And it's just lucky, but yeah. So you can use the mono wheel and get 10K. It's not unheard of.
And see, that's also something that's the beauty of like people sort of specializing in different stuff. because you sort of start to adapt the bar for what's like the best possible score, what people are capable of for the future. Like the best example, for example, is just recently we had round 2, which was the very same event that we had 100 events ago when team events started, and they tweaked the 10K marks because, well, people got better, and they realized also like what's capable and what's not. Like the best example is the wheelie. The first time around it was only 500 meters, and I mean nowadays even the new mark was ridiculous. It was like 1,000 meters, and now I mean Verishak and Into Space, they put out videos or screenshots of like 10,000, 14,000.
And It's a Space got 18,000.
18. Look at that, man! It's insane.
Jesus, that's crazy.
So imagine. I mean, don't. I don't want to give Fingersoft crazy ideas, but you know what I mean.
No, I think it. Well, for some of the events that I think it was it the last event or 2 events ago? It was just horrible. I just some of the events that they get looks like they just threw some stuff together. I think you guys talked about it in your podcast with the snowmobile was on took like 10 minutes to do.
Snowmobile was on the moon on track 2.
Yeah. Stuff
Terrible
like that.
idea.
That
Terrible
they could
idea.
just do better on the team events. And I'm not even a team event person, and I even recognize that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to be better at team events. Eventually, I'll be going back to my Hoonigans, but I'm just kind of learning from Nemesis and USA, trying to gain a better perspective. And it's been fun, and I've learned a lot so far. And having this next couple months off before season 2 starts off, I'll be able to hopefully learn some more, grow my GP. I'm trying to transition into a better team event player, but it's just it's hard for me to do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of skills to put together. It's multi-jump, it's long jump, you need a certain level of GP if you don't have tons and tons of practice.
Right.
Yeah,
So do you guys like practice? You guys like practice like when it's wheelie for the event? You guys would just go to an adventure map and just practice doing the wheelie?
It depends. Like I think everyone has their own sort of comfort zone. So like some vehicles, some people feel more comfortable using than others. Like I don't know if you remember a few events ago we had the wheelie with the Dune Boogie. You remember that? It was really hard event. I think nobody liked it.
Oh yeah.
Was that the winter dune buggy or the one with the mountain track?
The one that was a mountain track. Remember you had the dragon chasing after you after that?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think 99% of people were using the Dune Boogie. I could not, for the life of me, get past like 2,000 points with the Dune Boogie. I don't know why. I always feel like Dune Boogie wheelies in team events, it's like there's ice under the surface. I don't know why.
Well, it's two things. That number one, that would have been a super easy wheelie if we had even one more fuel can somewhere along the way. But the dune buggy wheelies are generally the easiest wheelies, so it's almost always a no fuel wheelie. And number two, if you lower coin boost, I think when you have wings, wheelie, and coin boost, if you lower max coin boost down to even level 3, it makes it way easier. Because when you're wheeling and you pick up those coins, it like throws you backwards.
Yeah, that's a good point. But also, believe it or not, I didn't end up doing that track with the boogie. I switched it out and I did it with the racing truck, because for me, the wheeling with the racing truck is a no-brainer. It's so easy. Like I switched it and I was getting 10Ks like 9 out of 10 runs.
But then you couldn't use that for the final run then.
No, then I had to use the Jeep on the Dragon, sadly.
Yeah.
But to answer your original question, there's only a couple of times that I, like, obviously no fuel in like the backwater bog. I ran a ton of times with the little Jeep and the chopper when we had the chopper in the same map. if we had a wheelie with something like the motocross, I would go to the desert adventure track and just practice, hopping on the different suspension levels and seeing how it felt.
Okay.
Those things help, and especially if you're doing a multi-jump or if you're doing something like the Formula multi-jump, you can go into like the city adventure map and just hop around and get a feel for how it jumps with jump shocks activated, just hitting a land boost and seeing how it jumps. Those things like make you really good at multi-jumps pretty fast.
Yeah, honestly, at the end of the day, the more you practice, the better you're gonna get. Like, for example, for some time trial tracks, like for example, the one we have now with the sports car, there's hard setups where you can get really good times, but it's really inconsistent unless you practice a lot. And there's more consistent, safe alternatives. So depending on how much you practice, you're gonna feel more comfortable using one than the other. Like
thrusters versus afterburner or something like that.
Exactly.
I'm an afterburner person, by the way, in this one.
Me too, please. I mean, it's not expected. What do you expect? We're not Linus over here who the third ticket gets 48K.
Right. So speaking of, I guess not speaking of, but moving forward, we have the guest provide us a hint for the next episode. Would you like to do the hint for us, Despo? It's going to be a little bit different, though.
Yeah. Ask Charlie B.
Ask Charlie B. Okay.
Oh, that's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, and since it's hard, if you go to the Fair Play server when this podcast is released, we will provide a little bit of a distorted picture to help with the hint as well, because it's not your standard hint. It has nothing to do with a PFP or an in-game name. It's going to be a little bit different of a hint, but we're going to try it out.
Just let them find it. They still find it within a day anyways.
That's true. It's true. 5 minutes sometimes.
I'll give him 10 minutes.
Give them. Yeah, I swear that like what's his name Dash always like he doesn't even listen to the podcast. He skips the part about the hint for the next guest and just goes all out.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, they said this. This is the hint. Come on, guys. What is it?
Right, and we had players like Bad at HCR used to guess it in the first 5 minutes, but they've been slacking a little bit. You got to pick up your game.
Well, to be fair, they only found out whenever I made the hints. Since we switched it over to our guest doing it, it improved. So
it's true. It's true.
There we go.
No more hints from Juanito.
All right. Well, this has been a fun podcast. It's been very informative. I feel at least a little bit motivated now to join Mono Wars.
There we go. Yeah. Well, anyone can join. It's like I had my son even joined, and he was playing for a while, but now all he does is play Fortnite. So.
Oh no! Don't let him go down.
I was hoping to be raised in the next mono wheel champion, but not yet anyway.
Yeah. One day.
You can be sure I'm gonna try and go all out. Like you're gonna see like montage videos of me failing in mono wheels, and oh man.
Oh, that's gonna be great. Yeah.
Excited. And
make sure you add the invite links. Make sure you guys get those in your guys' friend list because it helps a huge amount.
Yeah,
and I just want to say.
Please go ahead, Daspo. Sorry.
I just want to say, Jebstone, you got to make sure you join season 3 this year because you're a freak of nature, dude, and we need you in there. So, yeah,
we'll make sure he gets this message.
Yeah.
But by the way, we can't end it like this. Like, first of all, we forgot to ask you the most important questions, but now we're gonna have to make them like related to your specific skill. So instead of what's the best 3 team event players in your opinion, you're gonna have to tell us the best monowheel players.
Oh. Okay, best monowheel players.
So if you had to choose, if you were putting together a monowheel professional team, And
Of three. Don't start like Dflo and Avitol who want to call out like the entire HCR2 community.
So I gotta
Right.
just put 3. I gotta list 3.
Assuming that they're all going to play the same, assuming they're all going to put the same effort in, this is purely skill based.
So this is not in any order. It'd just be my top 3. I don't have to go in order, do I?
No.
You don't have to know.
Okay. Well, I gotta get Cody's got to be in there. Jepstone, and who's my third? Oh God, there's like 5 guys that could be this one. I have to go with McJack.
Okay. I mean, I only know Cody there, so I can't really comment much on it.
Right. I know. It's like, oh, okay, thanks, cool.
No, it could have been 73. It could have been Dado. It could have been Rob Lick. Could have been so many other guys.
But then a follow-up to that question is going to be, which 3 players would you love to play alongside in the same team?
In the same team?
Yes.
Oh, I'd like to play with Cody for sure. I'd like to play with DC Jahani and DC Ice Edge just because, not for any specific reason, but because they're just my buddies.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't have I don't have the knowledge. If I was gonna say the top players, I would just be copying whoever was on last. So.
Well, we thank God we stopped Dflo from giving out his list as well.
Right.
That's good. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, I'm really debating whether I should play with my main account or my alt account in Mono Wars, because on my main account I have a bunch of friends, and as you said, you need like mono wheel specific people, because when you play the dailies, you're gonna be seeing the ghosts of the people at the top.
Exactly.
So,
How many? What's your GP for mono on that in your alt?
I mean, don't worry about it. Like, I can max it if I really wanted to.
Oh yeah, I would definitely. If you don't want to get rid of your friends, I know that was a big problem for Verishak. Like, I was like, so do you see any ghosts? And because he joined Mono Wars for a couple of weeks, maybe even longer. But he said he saw like a ghost every once in a while. He's got so many friends that you don't get the full experience. So I definitely recommend using your alt account if that's the same case for you.
I'll probably do the
Absolutely.
same thing, although it's going to be harder for me to max that. I don't even know where it stands, but I could probably at least get level 3 thrusters on my alt.
There you go. Level 3 is good. Max is nice, but
you know what, Hulk? The real challenge, it's not gonna be, us competing with them. It's just gonna be between me and you who's gonna be the better mono wheel player.
Right. That's fine. We don't need anything else.
But anyways, so yeah, for everybody listening, we're gonna have the links to Daspo's server for Mono Wars, his friend link, obviously, so you can add him if you want to start seeing his runs during the dailies, and maybe that'll interest you in joining Mono Wars in the future. I'm sure that a lot of people are going to join, so you better have some sort of backup or a better bot or something so that you can start managing the new data that's going to come your way.
There we go. And I just want to do a shout out to Z and to all my moderators out there. Thanks for all your help, guys.
Absolutely. And anything else you want to tell the viewers? The listeners, God damn it.
Me?
Yeah, of course you're the guest.
I don't know if he's muted or if he doesn't have anything. He's speechless.
Literally speechless. That nice long awkward silence. I'm gonna leave it in the final cut of that.
Yeah, please do.
Just to create a nice environment. Are you still there with us, Daspo? I think he might be gone.
Okay. Well, we can wrap it up there. This is a good time to quit.
Well, his DC gave on him, so we
Yeah,
might as
so
well.
we could say we appreciate him being here. This has been very fun, and we will chat with everybody next time.
Absolutely, and be on the lookout for a new episode of Real Talk coming soon.
Yes, that's going to be a good one.
All right, so thank you guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Alrighty.
See ya.